Hey, what's up, guys? Back at it again with another vlog. It's 11:37 p.m. right now, and tomorrow I have a long day ahead of me. Oh boy. Tomorrow I picked up a shift because I wanted the extra hours. So tomorrow I'm working from 9:30 in the morning to 9 p.m. So that's almost 12 hours. It's 11 and a half hours of work. Um, Technically only 10 and a half hours since I'll have two breaks. So 2 half-hour breaks equals 1 hour of break time. So technically 10 and a half hours of work, but still, that's quite a lot. um, Today was okay. Today was pretty good, actually. It was a very nice day at work. Got time and a half because today's family day. So even though I only worked 6 hours, it ended up being the equivalent of 9, I believe. So nice. That's pretty good. And then tomorrow, there's like a promotion at work where every single person gets a free 8 nuggets if they mention the promotion. So that's going to be fun. We'll see how that goes. Um, I'm a bit nervous about that. Um, I finished module 3 today, and I also did some writing today. I am not too fond on the story idea I came up with. I did some research, and it feels a bit insensitive to write about. Like, I don't really feel like I'm qualified to write about it, and it just feels like I don't know how to describe it. It feels insensitive, is the best way I can put it. Um, I could write it in a sensitive way, um, but that wasn't my initial intention with the story. So I'm like, I don't even want to write it anymore because my initial intention was to write about basically a serial killer, like a gay serial killer who like lures men into his like trap by being hot and sexy and then killing them and then getting off on that. And I was like, should I really write about that? Because I was trying to think of like story reasons for how this character came to be, and I don't know, it just feels like something that I probably shouldn't write about. And I should just leave it to the vaults, and just keep that secret because it's kind of messed up. It is kind of messed up. I liked the vibes, the aesthetics that I was going for, but then as I delved deeper into it, I realized like this is kind of dark and not in like a good way, because I feel like in order for a character to react that way and behave that way, you kind of have to go into some like deep psychological territory that I don't think I'm qualified to discuss. And I like the way that my story was progressing and the way that I was thinking about it. It was just a lot more messed up than I wanted it to be. And so I was like, I don't really want to write about this. I feel like I could use my talents writing something a bit more creatively fulfilling in a less messed up way, if that makes sense. Um, so I was just like doing some free writing just now, and it's whatever. Nothing too special. But yeah, I was rereading some of my older stuff, and I was like, I came across this one like entry I made where it was like, just write stuff, man. Like, don't be afraid to write whatever the heck you want. And I was like, yeah, I should do that. Since I'm not like publishing anything, right? It's just for me to write about. So I can still write whatever I want. Um, so I need to remember that whatever I write in this journal doesn't necessarily have to be seen by anyone. So I can just write whatever I want. It shouldn't be stressful in any way. It should be no pressure. But with that said, I still have boundaries of my own. And yeah, so I do think I could expand on it just for my own, just for fun, I guess. But I don't see myself getting anything out of it other than just like some fun. So I guess I could write about it. I can really write about whatever I want. But I do want to challenge myself to some extent. But what does that mean? I don't really know. Like, there's many different ways to challenge oneself when it comes to writing. It's either how do you write about a topic that you aren't knowledgeable on, or how do you write about a topic that is very sensitive to many people? How do you write about like something that you're not interested in at all? There's many different ways to challenge yourself, and I have to determine okay, what kind of challenge am I looking for in the first place? Do I want to challenge myself by writing a lot, or do I want to challenge myself by writing a lot but in very little words? There's a difference between writing a lot, like word count wise, versus writing a lot meaning wise, such as a poem, where you get a lot of meaning out of very little. So it's very interesting. There's a lot of different pathways I can take. I think what I found to be the most fulfilling is creative writing that challenges me to think outside the box, whatever that means. And for me, that means going deep into the literary elements of stuff, using punctuation I'm not comfortable with, using literary devices I'm not familiar with. You know what I mean? Just the nitty-gritty of the English language is kind of what I want to challenge myself with. Using vocabulary that I'm not used to, upgrading my diction, kind of stuff like that is what I want to work on before I focus on coming up with a book idea or plot ideas. That's a whole nother challenge in itself that I could also work on. I could also work on challenging myself to come up with a bunch of different story ideas. That's also a realm that I'm interested in potentially pursuing. But the very first challenge, I think, in order to even be able to get to that, is just getting myself to write every day. That's actually the one thing that I fear I might be struggling with the most. Because with writing comes some expectations, even though I tell myself constantly that there should be no expectations. To just write what you want. It doesn't really feel good when I write something that takes no effort. Writing does take effort to some extent if you want to write something that you want to be proud of. And I obviously want to write stuff that I want to be proud of. I don't want to just write one word and say, okay, that's it for today. I wrote one word. That's not gonna make me feel anything. It's not a challenge either. I want to challenge myself in writing something every day and having that writing be meaningful to some extent. I don't want to just write about my day, for example, because that's what I already do with these vlogs. I talk about my day. I want to write something with some purpose. It doesn't have to be mind-blowing or anything, but I just want to write something that at least has some effort put into it so that I can at least challenge myself every day to write something that at least takes some brain power, as opposed to just like a boring journal entry about my day, because that takes no effort. I want to write something at least somewhat creatively fulfilling. Could do a little short story every day, could do a little poem, could just write whatever comes to mind as long as it's not a journal entry or a random assortment of words. That's basically my expectations. Write something that isn't about me or my daily life, because I already do that with these logs, and have those words be meaningful to some extent. It can't just be like a random cohesion of words that mean absolutely nothing. I want some meaning in it. So yeah, I feel like that's doable, right? I'm not like setting super high expectations, but I'm also not, setting the bar so low that I can just like literally take a step over it. So yeah, that's what I've been thinking about, and I think by doing that I can write some pretty cool stuff. I was rereading some of my earlier journal entries, or I shouldn't even call it a journal entry at this point. I should just call it my writing book. Like I don't even know what to call it, because it's not a journal. I'm not journaling about my life. I'm just writing. So I was looking through some of my earlier entries and I was like, damn, some of this stuff goes hard. Like some of these poems that I've been writing are surprisingly good. And there's a lot of interesting stuff in here that I'm actually kind of proud of. Because it evokes emotions and it does some stuff for me. So, yeah. If it does stuff for me, then that's all that matters, because it's only meant for me, right? I keep forgetting that I'm not going to show my journal to anyone else. It's only for me. So if I'm proud of it, that's all that matters. And yeah, that was basically my day. Tomorrow will be a rough day. Well, we'll see. We'll see. Maybe it'll be chill, but it's probably going to be mayhem tomorrow. But at least I'm mentally prepared for that. So, yeah, that's about it for today's vlog. Talk to you all tomorrow. See ya.